Hey all. So today we decided we're going to go through a common list of questions that a lot of rookie cruisers and some seasoned cruisers alike have. Just some things we've come across. So number one,
what's included in the cruise fare?
Your room upon the ship, port taxes and fees, and that's it. But that one was easy.
Yeah, that one was pretty easy.
Number two.
Do you need a passport or visa?
Short answer is it depends. So if you're doing, if you're doing a closed loop cruise from a U.S. port to a U.S. port into the Caribbean, a birth certificate and driver's license usually suffices. I always recommend,
sufficient.
Or is sufficient, that's correct. I always recommend passport if you have one. If you don't have one, I recommend you get one.
Yes.
And depending upon where your cruise goes, there are some countries in Europe and in Asia that do require visas.
I have that effect on him.
Ask your travel agent. If you don't have a travel agent and you don't want to get a travel agent, ask the cruise line. They'll tell you for your particular itinerary what you need.
Okay. Number 3.
Her favorite topic.
The question should be, what shouldn't I pack? But what should you pack? Basically, enough clothes. As a woman, enough clothes to get you through 2 weeks. Just saying. Anyway, just kidding, honestly. Clothing.
She's not joking.
Bathing suit. A hair straightener if you need it. All the essentials, basically. But
socks, underwear, shoes.
Sunblock. Lots of sunblock. After sun care.
Makeup if you wear makeup,
which I do, just don't. I don't on these videos.
Your travel documents, your passport, cash, credit cards, vaccination card. Basically anything you think you would need for a 7-day trip, depending upon where you're going. If you're going on an Alaska cruise, probably don't need all that many bathing suits. If you're going on a Caribbean cruise, you probably don't need a parka. So it's
either way, I would bring it on either cruise. I'm not kidding.
Number 4, what's the dress code on the cruise?
That would be dress code.
You're right.
Code.
Yes. So usually on cruise ships, it's pretty lax. It's pretty laid back. Shorts and t-shirts are fine for most things. Most cruises do have 1 or 2 dress up nights. They might not call them formal nights anymore. They call them, I don't know, whatever the word is of the month. But most cruise ships do have at least one night, bless you,
thank you,
where they ask you to dress to impress. To ladies to wear a nice dress or slacks and a blouse. Gentlemen, they want you in dressy pants and at least like a button-down shirt. Again, it depends on the cruise line, depends on what the itinerary is. Like if you're going on Cunard cruises, guys, you're wearing a sport jacket every night after 6 p.m. That's just, otherwise, yeah, you'll be in your room. So.
And the other thing is too, when you're eating in the main dining room, they prefer you not to wear white beater t-shirts, cut off shorts,
flip flops.
I have one flip flops. It's not an issue, but just be considerate.
Number 5, how much cash should I bring?
$1 million. No, I'm kidding.
We usually bring
$300.
About $300. Now remember, pretty much everything on board the ship, you don't pay cash for. You pay with your seat card, your room key.
Yes.
Okay, we bring give or take $300. Lots of small bills, like $20 in ones, $40 or $50 in fives, another 40 or 50 in tens, and then the rest in 20s. Because what we do is we tip our bartenders and our servers throughout the week. We tip our room attendant and our main dining room wait staff at the end of the week. And we like to have some small bills when you get off the island.
You want to tip your excursion director,
the tour director, the bus driver.
And then to buy little things.
You negotiate, you haggle for everything in every port. So if they want $5 for something and I show them $3, 9 times out of 10, they're going to take the $3.
And if you're like me and we go on excursions and there's a Dunkin' Donuts around, you're going to bring cash or your debit card, whatever. But just use caution because of the foreign fees associated with debit cards and or credit cards.
Yeah.
So the cash is the better.
Yes.
So number 6, what expenses are extra on a cruise ship? It really depends. I mean, formal, specialty dining.
Right.
If you want to take any classes or anything else like that, there may be fees associated with that. Every cruise ship is different, and every package is different.
The ship's photographers, they'll take your picture for free, but if you want to buy that picture, or if you want that picture, you got to buy it. Any souvenirs you want to buy on board, if you don't have the drink package, you're paying for each and every drink.
But again, that goes on your room.
Right. None of the things we've just mentioned are they going to ask you for cash for.
No.
They're going to be added to your room charges.
Correct.
Okay. What else? If you didn't book excursions ahead of time, the excursions are extra.
Well, the excursions are extra anyway.
Well, yeah, but if you prepay them, you're not going to pay for them again.
Gotcha.
What else?
That's it right that I can think of.
If you attend, the casino, gambling is not included. That's extra. That covers
but they
most
do have
things.
ATM machines on the ships.
Yeah,
again,
they charge you $6 or $8.
Which some banks actually, depending on your type of account, will reimburse you for that.
No, yeah, go ahead. Next. No, go.
So number 7, how do you make reservations for specialty restaurants? Well, you can usually do it if you have the app on your phone. You can do it through the app.
Yep.
You can do it when you get on the ship. You go to guest services, and they'll be able to help you.
Go right to the restaurant.
Yep.
You can book it right there. That way you can book the exact time that you want. On the exact night. They come around the ship offering you packages. 3 specialty restaurant as a package. Eating in 3 different specialty restaurants as a package. There's lots of ways. You can do it ahead of time. Basically, yeah.
Okay. So number 8, is the Wi-Fi free? No.
Nope.
Nothing.
You're right.
Nothing in life is technically free.
Correct.
But you
well,
can,
nothing on the cruise is technically
Chloe, right?
free either. Chloe agrees.
Yes. So there are per day charges should you choose to do that. Remember, putting in airplane mode.
Next up, number 9, are drinks included? No. Well, alcoholic beverages are not included. Water, coffee, tea, and your juices like orange juice, apple juice. They're free. If you want a specialty coffee, that's not free. If you want alcoholic beverages, that's not free. No. If you want soda, that's not free. No. If you want bottled water instead of a glass of water, that's not free.
But you live, you learn.
Number 10, can I bring alcohol on board?
Yes.
Every cruise line has different rules. Some cruise lines allow 1 bottle of, all right, let me back up. Can you bring alcohol? Wine, yes. Beer, no. Whiskey, hard liquor, no. You're allowed, depending upon the cruise line, anywhere from 1 to 2 bottles per person or per stateroom. It depends. You have to talk to the cruise line, talk to your travel agent or talk to the cruise line and find out what that particular cruise line's rules are. Also, if you're going to bring bottles of wine on board, make sure they're either twist off or you bring your own cork.
Corkscrew.
Corkscrew. Because if you don't, some ships sometimes will charge you a $15 corkage fee to open the bottle of wine for you. So bring your own corkscrew.
Getting back to the alcohol on board, if you're in port and if you buy alcohol in the port that you are at, they will not allow you to bring it back on the ship. Most ships will allow you to have it checked in and you can pick it up at the end of the cruise.
Exactly. They'll deliver it to your room.
So you just really want to be careful with that.
We have known people to sneak it back to their room. Yes, but we're giving you the official word.
And the other thing too is, I forget what I was going to say. It'll come back to me.
Don't try.
That's what I was going to say.
Go ahead. Before you forget it.
Before I forget. So basically, because we're both getting the drink package and we're in the same room, some ships will not allow him to get the alcohol package and me to just get the basic drink package. So that's the other thing that you have to check into if drinks are included. Go ahead.
Well, if you get the drink package.
Yeah.
And that's a cruise line by cruise line. Carnival, if two people are in the same room, they're either both getting it or neither of them are getting it. There are no exceptions.
Correct.
I've helped customers in the past where one person wanted the package, the other person did not drink, and I was able to call, I believe it was Royal, and they allowed it. You know, they made an exception over the phone. You could not book it online. Online, it's both or none. But you know, some cruise lines, if you call them, they will allow differing choices.
Yes.
Number 11, everybody's favorite. What's a muster drill? You want to give it a whirl? Or you want me to go?
You can go. You better. I just know I have to show up.
Okay. So a muster drill is a maritime law that every cruise line has to abide by before they leave the dock on the first day. They have to account for every person on the ship, and every person on the ship has to be advised of a specific set of information, where their muster station is. So in the event of an emergency, where are they to go? Because you don't just sit in your room. You go to a particular area on the ship. That way, the crew members that are in charge of that area can account for everybody, or if there are two missing, whatever. You also are shown how to put on a life jacket, what's going to happen in the case of emergency, and you're taught what the universal signal is for an emergency, which is 7 short and 1 long blast of the ship's horn. Okay, but these days the muster drill is so much better.
Yes.
Basically, like usually ours. Actually, what is it, like 3 cruises now? They've all been in the casino.
Yes.
But they tell you where your where your muster station is when you get on board, and you go there, you get that drill done. It takes 10, 15 minutes, and then you go and enjoy your cruise.
Right.
Don't be that person who, if the ship's leaving at 4:30, at 4:15, they're calling over the loudspeakers, "Well, passenger Eric Stevenson, please report to his muster station." Yeah, that's not how you want to become well known on the cruise ship.
They check your cards.
Yep.
They swipe your cards so that they know that you've checked in, and it's internal thing. So don't worry about it. Just do it.
Don't be that guy.
No. Or that girl.
All right, next up.
Do cabins have hair dryers?
Number 12. Do cabins have hair dryers?
What did I say?
You didn't say the number.
Oh, my bad.
I'm trying to have everybody keep track.
All right, so he already said it. Do cabins have hair dryers? Yes. They're little itty bitty things. So if you have long hair, it may take you a while. You can bring a hair dryer on board.
I think that's a cruise line by cruise line, because I know there are certain ones that do not allow that. So check before you bring your $50, $100, $150 hair dryer with you.
Some of them are even more expensive nowadays. But anyway, go ahead, Dyson. You can also bring a straightener and a curling iron.
Okay. Check with your travel agent or check with the cruise line.
And trust me, I got that.
Number 13, is there a self-service laundry?
No.
It depends on the cruise line and the ship you're on. A lot of the Princess cruise ships do have self-service laundries on board.
Who wants to do laundry on a ship? Not me.
Well, if you're on a 15-nighter or 25-nighter.
Okay.
Or
a year, because that'd be a lot of clothes.
Unfortunately, a lot of the answers to these questions are... it depends, because it really does depend. Number 14, what's the difference between a port of call and a private island?
It's in the statement or in the question.
Well,
port of call is an island.
Well, but if you've never been on a cruise, you don't know what they mean by private island. So some cruise lines own or rent their own private island in the Bahamas. Perfect Day at Coco Cay is Royal Caribbean's. Ocean Cay is MSC's. The beach club at Bimini is Virgin's. Labadee, Haiti is a private area in Haiti that Royal has. Carnival's is, we were just there, Half Moon Cay. They each have their own private island or private area. A port of call is just any port in, whatever city or country that you're visiting. Falmouth, Jamaica, that's a port of call. Falmouth, excuse me. St. Thomas has a port of, or is a port of call. So
So that's what we mean.
Yes.
How do you plan your shore excursions? Wow, that was a tongue twister. So basically, it depends on what your activity level is. If you're adventurous, you're going to want to go zip lining. If you want to just chill on the beach, you have that part too. If you are like us, we like to do a snorkeling trip on one island, and then if there's an island that we haven't been on, we like to do a tour around the island, and they bring you into little stores and stuff like that. So it really just depends on what your likes are, and you don't have to take one. You don't have to go.
How to plan them? There's a couple of ways. One, you can go to the cruise line that you're sailing with. They have ship-sponsored excursions right in their cruise planner, right on their website. There are other websites like Viator.com and Cruise Critic and other websites that people will post about. Viator is kind of like Airbnb in that, Viator doesn't actually provide any services, but it's a listing service where excursions around the world are posted within that group, and you can book through that website to do your own excursion.
Yes.
They have rating systems, they have reviews, things like that. Some of the other ones like Cruise Critic and the other, I think, TripAdvisor, the people, somebody who went on a cruise and, took a private taxi tour with, Joe, if they had a really great experience or a really bad experience, they can post about it. So then you can, with contact info, so you can reach out to that individual and book an excursion through them.
Number 16, should you book excursions in advance? Yes, because a lot of them do sell out rather quickly.
Yes, the good one, the popular ones, I should say, do sell out very quickly. Sometimes, if they can, they will add more seats available, for an excursion. But yes, book them as early as you can, so that you don't get stuck with, no options, or, zip lining is the only thing available and you're in your 70s and in a wheelchair. So that's basically useless, as an example.
Yes. Number 17, is travel insurance necessary? No, it is not necessary, but it is highly recommended. Just in case.
Highly, I can't even stress it enough.
If you don't use it, you lose it, but that's okay. You have it as protection.
Most trip insurance will cost you less than 10% of the cost of your cruise. All it takes is one time where you can't make the cruise because, your uncle died, or
you were
in a car accident, and you get absolute worst case scenario is a future cruise credit for the value of the cruise you had to cancel. That's worst case scenario. Best case scenario, you get get all that money put back onto the credit card you paid for it, minus the $200-300 of the trip insurance. Why take that chance? Why lose $3,000 or $4,000 to save $300? But to each his own.
Absolutely.
Number 18, can I cancel the cruise if I need to? Yes, you can most definitely cancel the cruise anytime you like, right up to and including the minute you step on that ship. I had a customer recently who boarded the ship for a Greenland cruise, and they boarded the ship around 1 p.m. About 3 p.m., the ship didn't leave until 5 or 6. About 3 p.m., she started feeling awful and got off the ship and ended up taking an Uber back to her house. And she had trip insurance, so now she's going through the process of getting her money back. You can cancel the cruise anytime you want. If you don't have trip insurance, travel insurance, excuse me, you're going to pay, the penalties. If you cancel it far enough in advance, you'll get some of your money back. That each ship is different. Each line is different as to what that time frame is. But
and there are also different riders. I'm sorry. There are different riders as far as the travel insurance goes. Is that correct?
Yes. I didn't want to talk about.
Okay, but just make sure that you pay attention to that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Next up.
Number 19, is there a doctor on board? Yes. There's also a morgue on board.
The doctor's not free. If you have to visit the doctor, visit the doctor. But don't be surprised when you look at your stateroom charges, and there's a couple $100 fee for an aspirin. Don't go to the doctor if you just need an aspirin. Okay,
Come see me. Yeah.
They sell some of that over-the-counter type stuff in the souvenir shop. But if you need a doctor, go.
Right.
Don't suffer in your stateroom for 3 days because you don't want to spend a couple $100. Number 20, is there a casino? Usually, yes. Most major cruise lines have casinos. Some of the more luxury ones have started to do away with them because they, 100 people on the ship or 200 people on the ship, so they don't. Not that many people gamble percentage-wise. So, but yeah, your mid-size and large ships, they pretty much all have a casino these days. And a little trick that we learned: instead of using the ATM to get cash out, go to the casino cage, take cash out on your room charge. There's no ATM fee when you get cash out on your room charge because it's not. You're not using your credit card for a cash advance. It's just another room charge as far as your credit card company is concerned. Mm-hmm. Next up.
Oh, number 21. Is there a gym or spa? Yes. Some cruise lines have more of a Virgin,
larger,
for example, has like one whole deck dedicated to working out. And they also have an indoor gym. So we've never not seen a gym or a spa on a cruise ship that we have been on.
No, we haven't been inside too many of them ourselves, but that's a whole other story.
We're on vacation, but the spa treatments and or what you do in the spas actually do cost extra. So that's another extra that you would have to take into consideration. The gyms are no charge.
Number 22, what are late night activities? And again, unfortunately, it depends on the cruise line. It depends on the cruise ship. If you're on a Royal, a Carnival, an NCL, a Celebrity, they're going to have. Go ahead, fill it in. Late night activities.
Oh,
sorry, I had to get my cat away from our door.
So yeah, it really just depends. Like Eric was saying, on the Royal cruise lines that we've been on, there's been a lot of activity at night. Whether it be movies on the one of the decks,
live music till 1 or 2 in the morning,
in different areas of the ship. So for us on Royal, there was a lot to do.
Yeah,
and
silent discos, all kinds of stuff.
So again, if you're a late night person, you can even just wander around the ship.
I would say by probably 3 a.m., pretty much all the activities are over by then. Most of the time you can see, there might be one bar open at like 3 o'clock in the morning. The pizza place, the all-night pizza, well, not all night, but the pizza place is usually open till 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yes.
There's arguably like 2 hours a day that there's hardly anything open. But besides that, there's always something going on. Next up, can kids stay out late? As far as I know, I've never seen a curfew.
Yes.
Now, there are kids clubs, which actually in number 24, might as well talk about them together. Is there childcare?
Yes.
So yeah, most of your major cruise lines have kids clubs. And the good ones separate the kids into age groups. So you're not going to have, a 4-year-old trying to hang out with a 16-year-old.
No.
They're going to have the little ones, they're usually 3 to 4 age groups, depending upon the cruise line. And most of them have, I believe, the daily activities, the kids club is included in the cost of the cruise fare up until like 6 or 7 at night. Then if you want the kids to be watched after that, some ships have evening activities included. Some of them charge extra for that. So find out from your travel agent, find out from the cruise line what they're offering and what's included and what's extra.
Yes.
And then last but not least, number 25.
Gratuities?
Oh, sorry.
Oops, we kind of squished that together too. Number 25, how much are gratuities? Well, most of the ships...
It depends.
Yeah, I was going to say, most of the ships actually have it already worked into some...
No.
Okay.
So the prepaid gratuities or the daily gratuities, we're not talking about
Tips.
what you tip in cash to your servers. This is the gratuities that the cruise lines add to the cost. And it depends on the cruise line. They're roughly $16 to $20 a day at this current time, depending upon the cruise line, depending upon if you're in a regular room or in a suite. If you prepay them, sometimes there's a discount for prepaying them, usually not. But we always prepay them because when we finally get on that ship, the last thing we want to worry about is another, $15 or $20 daily charge added to that bill. We want to pay for everything that we can ahead of time. Our port taxes, our fees, our drink packages, our excursions, our Wi-Fi, the gratuities. We want all that done and taken care of so that when we're on the ship,
We can just chill.
we can chill, have a good time, and at the end of the week, we have got, $100 or $200 miscellaneous souvenir purchases that we've got to pay for. So
That's okay. But I think that is...
Any other rookie questions you can think of that we didn't cover?
No.
I think we're good.
Yes.
We covered most of them. There any other questions you have? General questions, not even just rookie questions, but general questions. Feel free to leave a comment. Don't forget to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button.
And hope you had a great Thanksgiving.